Hi, I'm Jen Benepe, and this is The Real Deal. We're here today on Wall Street, the locus of the financial crisis for New York City and the nation. Many of us are reeling from the double-digit decreases in the stock market over the past 2 weeks, and credit is definitely very tight. And that begs the question, if you're looking for property and you need a mortgage, how much will you have to pay for that mortgage, and will you be able to get it? Here to talk to us today about that all-important subject is Richard Russell from Richland Equity. Everybody's talking about tightened credit, and just a month ago I applied for a mortgage, and then my real estate broker told me that I'll never get the same terms today. Is that true?
No, it really hasn't affected the bailout. Hasn't affected to any great degree the way how banks are lending. It just has changed who's lending, and we go more towards now savings and loans rather than institutional lenders.
Approximately July, there was this huge tightening in the market. Everything slightly froze, and at the time, many banks did revoke some of the mortgages they had put out to clients. And for example, no doc, there was a cessation of no doc from many banks, and also 90% loan to value changed. What's happening today with that?
The criteria has not gotten any more difficult. The number of lenders have, and you have to just be on, and you have to be aware of, as a brokerage company, the right lenders. You have to be aware of them.
Okay, so that leads us to the next question. I know that a lot of the big banks have stopped outright almost giving a lot of mortgages, so that leaves mostly mortgage lenders and small banks. Are they going to charge a higher points for some of the same mortgages that you could have gotten before through a regular bank?
No. You know, if say there were 50 banks that people used to deal with, now there are 20 or 15. It doesn't really matter the number of banks. So the consolidation in the mortgage industry is actually good, because now there are fewer people doing it, and when they do it, they do a better job at it, and they're more effective at it, and they're committed to it.
Would you say that at this point that a big bank is a lender of last resort for someone who's looking for a mortgage?
No.
Why not?
Because there's one bank in particular, that's Wells Fargo, that's very, very aggressive with wholesale brokers. However, their criteria is very, when you get a commitment letter, there are 3 million conditions on it, so you have to just work harder as a broker to clear them. It's just more difficult, that's all.
What about mortgages issued in New York City and nationwide? We know that the number of mortgages have gone down nationwide. How about New York?
The rest of the country is problematic because of the industries there have fallen and have collapsed. Here, even with Wall Street, people are still they come from other countries, or there's the entrepreneurs like myself. There's still the economy is still moving, and the amount of the flow of mortgages, yes, it's decreased, but not to the degree that it has in the Midwest, say.
So we're talking about single or double-digit decreases
in
here.
This town?
Yeah.
Double digits, but not over 15%.
Now, the Fed just announced a 1/2 point decrease in the lending rate.
Yeah.
And will that have it? We know that there's usually no one-to-one relationship.
Yeah.
We mentioned this briefly before,
Yeah.
between that rate and the mortgage rate. But do you see the mortgage rates coming down at all?
When the Fed has an action like that, it affects immediately prime, which is an artificial number banks charge for the home equity lines of credit, and credit card rates generally. Mortgage rates are dictated by the yield on the 10-year Treasury bill. So, but again, it's a psychological effect. Over time, yes, this decrease is a stimulant to the economy, just like the higher conforming loan limit was, and it'll affect rates to come down over time.
Where do you think the rates will be in the next 3 months?
I hope they continue to hover around 6% and a little below on 30-year fixed rates for conforming loans, which is 417. Then there's this artificial conforming loan limit that increases 729, 750, which would normally have been jumbo. That's about 6 1/4, and that should be above that. They're really very high. This way you have to be very creative in how you do loans larger than that.
Well, that's the news from our mortgage expert, Richard Russell. We'll continue to bring you news about the financial crisis and how it's affecting real estate. I'm Jen Benepe, and this is The Real Deal.